the number 4 plant on my top 5 of October is my, what is this called? Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. It feels like I have not filmed in a very long time, at least sitting in this area. So I feel a little bit weird, but I'm so excited to be filming this video so that I am able to talk to you guys, because that is one of my favorite things to do. So today is going to be my top 5 houseplants of October. I believe that this month is almost at the end, but we are going to enjoy the rest of it and enjoy these plants that I have been enjoying for the month of October. So the first plant that I'm going to show you, I have been loving. I only got it last month, but it has been doing so great that I had to show you guys. So the first plant is this Tetrasperma, and I did get this one at the Sagebrush of Arizona, and it has been doing awesome. So this leaf here is new, and then it is unfurling a new leaf here. So I'm super excited for this plant. It seems to be such a fast grower. I think I'm going to stake it up so it can have something to climb and trail, but it has been doing great so far. I'm super happy for this plant. And I am going to insert pictures of where these plants sit in my house, just so you kind of get the idea of how much light they get, or just where they are. So this one does sit on my plant shelf, but it's furthest away from the window. I do have a grow light on that shelf, so I think that's why it's doing so great. But I do water this one once a week, and it seems to be doing great in my house, so I am super excited to have it. So this is the first plant here on my top 5 houseplants of October. So the next plant here on my top 5 of October is this black Pagoda Lipstick plant. So I will have to look this up and tell you guys when I got it. I think it's been maybe 3 months or so, I'm not sure, maybe 4. And it's a pretty easy plant. And like I said, I will insert here where it sits in my house. So it does sit near my south-facing window. I do have kind of like a rack there that I can hang plants on. This one is still in the nursery pot that it came in, but it seems to be doing well. I do think that I have to repot it soon, just because the leaves are not looking as plump as they normally do, even after a good watering. I do bottom water this plant. It seems to like that a lot, but this plant is super easy. It does bloom a lot, if you guys can see these blooms here. So there is a bloom there. It's starting to bloom. The blooms aren't really that spectacular. I thought they would be maybe like red in color, or you know, something like that, like my Mona Lisa lipstick plant, but they're pretty boring blooms, but this plant does bloom often. So I am super happy with this plant. It gives me no problems. Like I said, I think it needs to be repotted, just because some of these leaves are looking kind of deflated. They're normally more plump than this, but overall this plant has been doing super great in my care, and I really do love this plant, and that is why it is number 2 on my top 5 houseplants of October. Okay, so the third plant here on my top 5 is going to be this Aglow Mia Silver Bay. So I did find this at Lowe's on clearance, and I think it was around $7. I could not pass this plant up, but it can be pretty pricey. So when I saw it marked down on clearance for $7, I had to grab it. It did have some damaged leaves from being on clearance, but so far so good. It does have some yellowing, but that was like that when I got it. It does have this new leaf since I've had it, and then also it is blooming, or it is growing a new leaf down in here, this one here. So I'm super excited for this plant. It is just so beautiful. So this one does sit near my south-facing door, and it does get a lot of natural bright light. It does require about, I water it about once a week, and just when the soil is dry, not totally bone dry, but when it gets dry I do water it. And I do water this one with distilled water, and it seems to be liking that. So I'm going to continue to do that, but this plant overall is doing pretty good, and I am super happy with this one, my Aglow Mia Silver Bay. So the number 4 plant here on my top 5 of October is my Manjula Pothos. So when I first got this plant, it was a very small plant. I got it from Walmart, and I believe it was around $2.98, somewhere around that price. It was in a very small pot. And when I first saw it, I picked it up and I was like, oh, I think I'm going to get this plant. It looks pretty interesting. And then I put it back and I said, no, I'm not going to get it. And then I said, you know what, it looks interesting, I'm going to get it. And I had no clue what it was. So I picked it up and I brought it home. And then I found out that it was a Manjula Pothos. And it is a super cool plant. So this plant for me is a very slow grower. Since I've had it, it has only put off this little stem here with these 4 leaves. There is one unfurling here. But that's it. That's all the leaves that it has put off for me. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know if it's just a slow grower. But either way, it's beautiful and I love this plant. I'm super happy that I picked it back up once I put it down at Walmart, because it is so beautiful, such a beautiful plant, and I'm so happy to have this one and so happy that it is doing good for me, and it is number 4 on my top 5 houseplants of October. So the number 5 houseplant here on the top 5 of October is Philodendron Brazil. So this plant is doing awesome for me. I did pick it up at, I believe it was either Walmart or Lowe's, and it was around $6 to $7. It was, I kept it in the nursery pot and it just wasn't doing very well. So I repotted it into a terracotta pot. And once I repotted it, it just took off and started growing all kinds of new leaves. I think it grows new leaves every single day. And I do have it sitting between my south-facing and west-facing windows. So it does sit in the corner, but it does awesome. It sits more towards the west window, so it does get a lot of the, afternoon sun, and it really does seem to like that. So I do keep it over there because it is just loving life, and it's so beautiful in my living room, and I'm so happy for this plant. It is trailing pretty long, but the trails do curl up. So, but that's okay. They have all kinds of new growth on them, and it's just so beautiful. One of my favorite plants, and so happy that it is on the top 5 houseplants of October. Just loving this plant. It's so pretty. Okay, you guys, so those were my top 5 houseplants of October. And every month I also like to show you guys one of my houseplants that just isn't doing very well. And I did have some suggestions in the comments on a few of my other top 5 houseplants videos. and you guys wanted to see all the plants that were not doing so great. You wanted me to update you on those. So in December, I will do a video and I will update you on all the plants that were not doing so great. And I'll just let you know where, you know, how they are and what's going on with them. But this month, I have a plant that was doing awesome. It was sitting by my west-facing window, and all of a sudden I came home from work one day and it was drooped over. And that plant is this Aglow Mia, I think it's Wishes or Pink, or I'm not sure, but it's the pink one. And so now, if you guys can see how it looks here, it is just slouching over. It was sticking straight up like this and growing so beautiful, but now it's slouching over, so I'm not sure if I just need to repot it because it does have new growth, if you can see here. So it is still growing, has new growth on a couple of these stems here, but for whatever reason it's just slumped over. So I think I'm going to repot this one, maybe into a smaller pot, because it did have 2 other stems here that just totally died off. I'm not sure why, but they did. And it used to flower for me all the time, and now it's not flowering for me anymore. So I think I'm just going to repot it into a smaller pot and see how it does. Just give it some fresh soil and try to revive it, because it is a beautiful plant. I did get this one at the grocery store a while ago, and I think it was like, I don't even know, maybe like 10 bucks or something like that. So I did see it in Lowe's recently for more than that, and I was thinking about getting another one just because this one isn't doing so well. But I think I'm going to try to revive it and give it some life, and I will definitely keep you guys updated. So don't forget to subscribe so you guys can keep updated on all the plants that were not doing so great, and then also the plants that are doing great. Also, I am going to do my plant haul for the month, so don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss that. And I do have some other videos coming up, another plant adventure coming up. I am going to some more plant nurseries and do some shop with me's on those. It is kind of getting cooler here. In the mornings it's about 60 degrees, but then it does still warm up to about 80, maybe even 90 degrees here. So it is still kind of warm to be outside shopping for plants. So I'm just waiting for it to cool down a little bit more before I go and do those shop with me's. But I will have a plant adventure coming up here soon. So if you guys like these top 5 of the month videos, if you like the plants that I showed you this month, please give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more plant videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I just want to thank everybody for watching. And until next time, guys, bye.